Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by One Who Travels on Discord.
This is Jeremy, still go by hashtag Who Gives a Shit. Is it working? Hello? No? Okay, restart. Anything? Still nothing? Are we doing it live? All right, this is Jeremy, go by hashtag Who Gives a Shit. I play a different game. I'm not really sure why I was invited. Thank you so much. Who cares?
And this is Aaron. I go by Treffenwood on Discord.
How do you follow that?
I mean, I want to tell him that, I don't think he's been on since. I don't think he realizes that we do 3 different casts now. So this isn't even an MCP cast anymore.
We don't do shit.
That's true. You can tell how rusty he is because he forgot to unmute his mic. It was great.
Yeah.
I think it was unhooked.
All right, so this is episode 250. Congrats, everyone. We made it. That's quite an accomplishment. You know, can't get here without everyone putting effort in, so good job.
I was wondering why it was so hard.
Yeah. So now the thing that clearly has brought us all here to talk today, the Steam Summer Sale.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's what I'm excited about.
I picked up Steam a while back in the 80s or something.
I was gonna say it's like a while back.
Yeah.
They still had the tube TVs when he got Steam.
Yeah, it was like Team Fortress 2, I think, back in those days. Mm-hmm. So I had picked up Gloomhaven on a sale, right? And I put it in my basket. And I'd thought long and hard about it. And somewhere along the lines, I didn't buy it. So everyone recently has started playing it again. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. I was in my basket. It was like $12. I was like, kick ass. I go to buy it. $40. Like, you sons of bitches, you can't change the price. Anyway.
Well, you probably shouldn't look and see what his price is right now.
I was going to say Gloomhaven, right? I just typed in Gloomhaven and it says $12.24. Whoops.
Just because I want to support one of my favorite games.
I mean, there are times I will buy games full price on Steam because I really want to support the publisher. Most of the time, I'm a value shopper. I wait for the numerous sales they have throughout the year.
You can buy copies of the game for other people, too, if you want to help spread the game. I don't know if you knew that was a feature on Steam that you can buy and send to a friend. And
that's a bridge. That's a
bridge
too far.
Hold on. I'm just putting together what you said and the fact that you sent us your Steam friend code earlier today.
No, that's not what I want to do.
Hold on.
Don't buy stuff on my wish list, because some stuff on my wish list is there to, save a genre.
I'm not buying. I'm buying you instead on my wish list.
Oh, okay.
Man, there's a lot of DLC for Gloomhaven, man.
Yeah.
I've seen you play
this one.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I saw Jeremy, every once in a while, when I'm sitting here, I see Discord will pop up and say, Jeremy's playing Gloomhaven. It's happened a bunch recently. So you've gotten to put some hours into it?
I live and breathe it now. It's the land in which I understand and know.
So
go ahead.
I see Jeremy playing Gloomhaven at 5 in the morning. That can't be correct, right?
Probably means I haven't logged out or something. Yeah, I just...
Okay, I imagine that was what... Because I'll just be playing, City Heroes at, 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, Jeremy has logged into Gloomhaven. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I almost send you messages, but I was like, that's got to be wrong.
That was a hacker. I'm pretty sure. That was a hacker.
Okay.
Parker, there's only 3 DLC for Gloomhaven. What are you talking about?
3?
So
I
many.
See...
There's Jaws of the Lion, alt skins, and the mercenary challenges.
Does that Dark Plethora make?
Wait, I see.
Let me introduce
are these other
games? Workshop game on Steam, and there's
bundles,
37 DLCs for $10 each.
So I have a question for Jeremy. Is it kind of like the only other tabletop video game crossover I've ever played was Blood Bowl, and Blood Bowl is basically just Blood Bowl. They just make it virtually, and you can't see. Some of the dice rolls, actually, some of the dice rolls they put right in front of your face, but some of them you don't see. Is that kind of how Gloomhaven works? It's very, very similar to the tabletop. You just don't flip cards; it just happens.
I will say it's actually significantly different. Blood Bowl won't let you do incredibly stupid shit that you didn't want to. Like, you roll your little cursor over things, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't get there, or the odds are 2%. I probably won't do that. Gloomhaven will let you click in the middle of fucking nowhere land and continue. They're just like, fuck you, lost your turn. Yeah.
Like, well, it'll take you 8 turns to get there. We just won't say anything.
Oh, it's hardcore as a motherfucker.
Okay. Really? I see. That's
Oh,
interesting.
really?
Parker,
Yes.
the answer to your question is yes. It is exactly the same as the tabletop, but there are no takebacks. There are no gimmies. Like, I want to move here, and then you're like, actually, I want to move there. Like, in the computer, it's nope, you're done.
I click the top part of the card, and I meant to click the bottom part. Yep. It's over. Forget it.
There is one undo you can click. Like, if you click the top or bottom, you can undo that, but you cannot undo any movement. There's a whole list of stuff that you wish you could undo. Like, oh, I meant to do my initiative in the reverse order. Well, too bad.
Yeah.
Now, in the game's defense, you can restart the entire round. Like, if what you did was, like, going to waste the previous hour and 45 you spent playing in the scenario, you can restart that round real quick. So it depends on how much of a no-takesies-backsies you want to hold yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it. I've been having a lot of... Like, it's just the mental grind of it that I'm just kind of, like, staring into the abyss playing it, and I look up, and it's 7 hours later. I'm having a good time with it.
So, one of the things that holds me back from playing, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is that I know how D&D works, and well, I know a lot of the things people love about Baldur's Gate 3 is all of the actual time they spent making sure the social aspects of it feel like D&D, and there's a lot of choice, and there's a lot of options and dialogue. That I would really enjoy. But I don't like D&D combat that much. I just don't like it as much as other systems. I really liked the Gloomhaven combat system. So is it pretty much just combat round and combat, kind of like XCOM where it's just combat with a tiny bit of fluff in between? Because that's I think I would really like that. But or is it more like where they spend some time on the RP elements?
It's the board game, man. Like, it's exactly the board game. So
the amount I don't know how much RP there is in Gloomhaven.
It's just enough to drag you forward through a scenario. Like, that's all it is. Okay. We're looking for some sort of mythical character named Jekapaya.
It's just box text.
Yeah, you just go forward, click it. Like, the game is about initiative and fighting, right? Like, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Is there a finite end to it, or can you just kind of...
There's an end.
Dungeon?
Both. You can play the campaign with the finite end, or you can pay some... I forget what it's called. Guildmaster, I think, is the title of the mode that is available online only, which is, I think, just random scenarios that they generate. Mm-hmm. So you play a campaign, which will take you many hours.
Whew.
Or play open-ended. Yeah.
When Frosthaven comes out, I will be buying that.
To answer your unasked question, Parker, it is worth the $12.24.
Yeah,
it's also worth $40. Some of us are not so lucky.
Oh, so the gold... Okay, I'm looking at the gold edition here. It looks like it has Jaws of the Lion and solo scenarios, mercenary challenges. Does that sound...
That's got to be $1,000.
That is $24.
For everything?
Yeah,
fuck
for
you.
All three.
I want to talk about DLC for a second, if that's okay.
In general?
Yeah, so if you have more topics on Gloomhaven, please continue.
I have one more topic on Gloomhaven.
Go for
it. My daughter... So before I preface this, I want to say I am not completely against this idea. I'm not sold on it, but I'm not completely against it. Before she goes off to college, she wants to get Gloomhaven tattoos. Like, matching
the character ones?
She left it open-ended, and I'm thinking, ooh, what if we each took our favorite character that we played the campaign through, and we each got those? So I think it's cool, because only people who really know the game are going to know what that symbol means, right? Otherwise, everyone will think it's something like random tribal shit.
No, it's great. It's the same thing about Kingdom Death and the dice, the lantern dice. You see those tattoos quite a bit, and it really is. If you're in the know, you're in the know. I think that's cool.
But I got one tattoo. I didn't really want to get another one, so like I said, I'm not sold on it yet, but it's not a complete turnoff.
Is that the only tattoo you have? Your giant gamey one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, that was my last
fits right in. It fits right in with your theme there.
It would I get it on my other shoulder? Like a big, huge fucking Gloomhaven symbol?
No, you need to finish your sleeve, bro.
I don't know about
Gamer
that.
sleeve.
Like my tattoo is done. Like, it was designed with multiple elements. Like, I'm not adding shit to it. This would have to go somewhere else. So
lame. I don't like that.
No, tattoos are becoming, like, tasteful tattoos are becoming more accepted, I think, in, like, professional culture as well. Like, people don't just naturally freak out if you've got, like, a barbed wire line or something on your elbow. Like, no one cares.
Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, okay, back to a DLC, Mr. B. Randon.
All right, Parker, have you heard of a game called Total War Warhammer?
Yeah, I played it.
Are you aware of the basic concept? Okay.
Yeah.
How many DLCs do you think Total Warhammer 3 has?
Ooh.
I want to guess. Everyone gets a guess.
Everyone gets a guess. Parker's looking it up instead of just
I'm looking. I looked up to remember to make sure this is the one I was thinking of, because I've actually watched people play it. One day I was like, I wonder what this looks like, because it's like a giant battle they were simulating or something, and so I watched a video of somebody playing, or I don't know if they were playing it or just like simulating a battle and watching it play out. But how many DLCs for Total War Warhammer? I'm going to say 8. That'd be a lot.
Okay.
My guess is 27.
What?
Okay.
Do you know how many different factions they have? And I'm guessing they also have maybe wallpaper.
There was 13 armies when I quit the game.
Well, DC.
Jeremy, what's your guess?
Well, when I think of DLC, I don't think of a single army expansion. I think like Lustria, and they'll do
just like Blood Bowl. Yeah, they would be like, "Hey, here's the Khorne team as a DLC." It's like, why wasn't this in the game?
Total War was always each individual faction,
and they do a set number of core factions, and then you have to buy the other ones.
I thought the expansion would be like, here's Lustria, so it's Amazons and Lizardmen, and
they can't make money on that kind of thing.
A group of there's for example, one of them is called the Shadow and the Blade, and so it's 2 new factions with custom leaders.
Okay, Jeremy, what's your guess?
Exists.
Man, you don't know how bad I wanted to say $1, but Parker lowballed it so hard that's not gonna work.
Say 9. You got everything from 9 to 27.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I'm gonna go 28.
Yeah. Okay. One of you is exactly correct.
Ooh,
it's Jeremy with 28.
Oh, suck it, Aaron.
Now again, I saw his screen changing, so clearly he looked it up. So you get 0 points.
Oh, get out of here.
Now, Parker, how many dollars do you think the average price of these DLCs is?
I want to know what
I'll say 9.
On Steam sale, I think I agree. What's the all-in price? I think you could buy the all-in everything. I'm going to say $212.
Not even close.
Okay.
Well, it's actually fairly close. So
$47,000. What?
Yeah. It looks here like the DLC without discount would run around $325, and then the game itself is base $60. So around $400.
Are you fucking kidding?
You're obviously going to get it on sale, so you're never going to pay that. But this is why I get so frustrated with GW video games. It's like, yeah, if you got it on Steam sale, like all the DLC is 50% off, and then you get an extra bundle discount, which brings it to $175.26 for all the DLC. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with them?
I'm pretty sure at this point I can play Skyrim on my refrigerator for $3. Yeah.
Or free. It might even be free.
It's probably free. Probably comes with the refrigerator.
Yeah, so there's like a bundle thing right now that you can see what's in the bundle. It gives you, it looks like, about half of the DLCs and the base game for $85 basically.
I mean, it's a good game. It's not bad.
Exactly. I was like, hey, it's on Steam sale. Maybe I'll get it. And because usually on these, the best time to get is when everything's already out and you get the big bundle discount, right? Mm-hmm. But I was still like, you don't even get everything, and it's like almost $85. Like, goddamn. Like, it's no way any fucking top-down game is worth that much. Like, I just don't see it. But yeah, so I get very frustrated with DLCs. Like, just release a full game, like, and then the DLCs end up being 5 times as much as the game would have cost. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I don't mind DLC depending on how it rolls out. Like, I don't even really mind Total War, because what's the chance you're going to play all 28 factions? Like, fucking 0. And if you do, then it's probably worth $200. But if you're just going to play one and then the other, and then you buy the base game for $60 and then $5 each time one comes out that you want to play, and you're going to get way more than 5 hours of entertainment out of, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, we never did the average. The average cost without discount is $13.
Okay.
Which is not crazy in its own right. If it was like a whole new campaign with a bunch of story and stuff, I'm not saying that can't be worth like a $13 experience to have like a whole summer of play. Like, that could be something to look at, but it just still seems like a lot.
I totally get where you're coming from. And I think the attitude I would have toward most what I call money grabs.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is like, it's so obviously a money grab because it's like there's no reason to split this faction off of the game. Like, it's just reskinning some models. All the core mechanics are still there. It's like, that should just be part of the game. But anyway, there are a lot of cool games that I've been looking at today for what to get. Through Josh's recommendation, I'm going to pick up Shadow of Mordor. It's a game I wanted to play when it was coming out. I just didn't have time.
That's a good one.
I kind of forgot about it. It also has several DLCs. Here, let me take a look. So the base game is 80% off right now, so it's $4. You can get all of the DLCs for a grand total of $6.99 with the base game. And so I'm like, yeah, that's probably fine. Like all the DLCs are like $2. Like, and I found another game I had never heard of that apparently came out like 5 years ago or 8 years ago now. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, which is basically just space combat Battlestar Galactica. So I'm probably gonna pick that up.
You'll probably think it's really good, but it's actually not.
I looked at it. It looks a lot like a game I already own. That's Sid Meier's or Space Combat. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like Sid Meier's spaceships or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay. The only problem I really had with the game was it was kind of shallow, and it had unskippable animations that were like 30 seconds long, which was really annoying. But you would have to. It was anytime you shot a torpedo, basically, it would give you a first-person point of view of the torpedo, and then you could press spacebar to detonate it early. So if you know you're going to miss, but you're going to get kind of close to it, you could detonate it for like partial damage. But you couldn't skip. You couldn't just say like go to end. Like don't like you have to watch it. It was like torpedoes were really good in the game, so you'd have like 8 ships shooting torpedoes. Each ship could have 8 torpedoes. And you just get in this like 8-minute chain of watching torpedoes fly in space, and they're not even close to hitting anything, but you can't skip it. I was like, God damn it! And so that's why I quit. Sid Meier's Starships is the name of it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, and so it just becomes that's unusable technology effectively, and you have to design your whole fleet around not using torpedoes. But it was a reasonably fun game. Other than
that, shifting away from games that are video, I played a brand new tabletop game that I have never played before. Let me preface this. It's a new tabletop game to me. I think it has existed since 1972 or something like that. Let me see.
Not that long, but it's been a while. I believe the date starts with a 9, but...
Yeah, let's see.
The suspense is killing me.
It might be late 80s, but I think it's 90s. It's Mordheim.
Mordheim.
Oh, okay.
I started playing Mordheim. And that game is really, really fun for me. For 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I am using so many of my Iron Kingdoms models from War Machine to play this game, and I love it. I love that the game is so old and so dilapidated in terms of miniature ranges. It's just the Wild West in terms of minis, and some of my IQ minis are like perfect, spot-on replicas of Mordheim lists, and some of them are close enough, and some of them are just like counts as, but I love getting some of my favorite IK models out and figuring out where they exist in Mordheim. That's been a lot of fun to go through all of my War Machine models. And then the second thing is I played a game of Mordheim, a learner game. So I'm learning, or relearning how to play because I played it once a long time ago. Jeremy, how long do you think it took a whole game of Mordheim to be played by someone who was, again, relearning a lot of the rules as I was playing?
1 hour.
That's how long that fucking game takes.
Mm-hmm.
You're exactly right. And that is so refreshing after playing so many games of Judgment against specifically Kenny for some reason that can take like 3 fucking hours.
You know what that is in dog years? It's a lot.
Yeah.
So hold on. Is this Parker hour or a regular person hour? I need to know.
That's true. Like 1 hour
Parker
for you,
hour?
That could have been a 10-minute game. That took an hour.
I'm confused.
Mordheim games can be extremely quick. They can also grind a little bit.
Well, yeah, they can grind. I could see how they could, but one of the things I liked about the game, and I haven't played it a lot, is there are not infinite decisions to make. It's pretty streamlined, and so most of it is up and at them. There's a few decisions besides up and at them, but not that many. So it's really hard for me to slow down. It's really hard for me to get caught in analysis paralysis. I don't need a clock because I'm clicking over to my opponent pretty fast. I did have to slow down a lot to learn the rules because there were a bunch of rules that I just like. When should I fight? How can I charge? Like these kinds of things that I knew of but didn't know exactly. So I had to ask him a lot during the game, and we still finished in an hour. And it was not a demo game; we were playing the full game. because I
What
told
is
them I
the
played
point?
before, which I have.
What is the point of a Mordenheim game? Are you trying to capture something? Or
There's
just kill
different
each other?
scenarios.
There are different
to play.
scenarios.
There's multiplayer scenarios and single player scenarios, but primarily the goal is to accomplish whatever the scenario is.
Mhm.
Sometimes that will be collect warpstone, which are like meteorite fragments that
Yeah.
have landed in this. Mordheim is basically Chernobyl. Like it's this like completely abandoned like wasteland of a place that's got a lot of these warpstone fragments in it. There's also a bunch of monsters and shit roaming around. So you're there looking for treasure and warpstone, basically fortune and glory, and then you're trying to get out alive. And that's what these warbands are doing. They're basically people that are willing to brave this scary place for fortune and glory.
Okay.
Or just to kill people.
And there's so much homebrew because the base game came out. There was like 1 or 2 expansions of these. Well, there's lots of. They made a magazine called the Town Crier, where every time they made a magazine, they put multiple new affiliations in it. But since then, there have been, because they just stopped making Town Criers, people just kept making, a different list based upon the Warhammer Fantasy lore and the model ranges that they had access to. And pretty soon, there's this huge library of affiliations that are really fun and flavorful. And there's if you play a campaign, it's kind of like Blood Bowl. If you play a campaign, your characters grow a little bit in stats and you can gain special abilities as they go. And you keep them and play with them more than once. It's a skirmish level game. Somewhere between 9 to 15 models is the usual size of lists. And guys die fast. So there's not a lot of wound counters or health counters. Most characters have 1 wound. And so you're just...
It's kind of like in Blood Bowl. If when you got knocked down, you just roll a 5+ to knock them out of the game. Mm-hmm. It's basically how quickly people die.
Yeah.
Who did you play this with?
I played it with our good friend Jim.
So I'm not sure how to ask this. Are you still friends with us, or are you just now friends with Jim?
No.
I mean, you can just you go ahead.
He very quickly said no, he's not friends with you anymore.
I said I have room in my heart for all people. I'm just telling you.
But you can't come to tournaments for Judgment anymore. But you have time to play with your new friend Jim.
I can't have tournaments for Judgment anymore because I am going to every place except my home this year, this season. I have.
But you have time for Jim.
I did have time for Jim. I had time for a game of Mordheim. I had time for 2 games of Judgment with Aaron. Those are the last. What?
And Jim. You had time for Aaron and Jim.
Yeah, I had time for Aaron and Jim. I did not have time for tournament. I have not been here on a weekend for like 4 weekends in a row.
We know.
Weekend, I won't put that.
We know. But that's fine.
Hey guys, I really want to play Frosthaven with you. Sweet. We'll rearrange everything to deal you in. Hey, where's Parker? Is Parker going to be here this week? What about next week? The week after that?
I know your job is to bust my balls on the internet, but I specifically said when
I would love
that
to be my job.
It's your job.
Sorry guys, I gotta go clock in. I'll be right back.
I know that. However, when I loved everything I've got to touch with the Frosthaven game. However, I said when I started, the entire month of June is non-stop vacations, and so I will have to. Except for the one day I got to play Mordheim with Jim, and the one day I got to play Judgment with Aaron. Those were like the 2 days I've had. But the drought will be ending after this weekend, and I'm excited to get back into everything.
And we appreciate those 2 days that you had, Jeremy. And by we, I mean Brandon and I.
Does Jim listen to this? Because,
no,
definitely not.
Great.
Parker, have you ever considered Jeremy wouldn't be employed as a ball buster if you just gave him the 10 pizza rolls you owed him?
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Deep.
That's not even a B-side. That's fucking live album recorded off a cell phone.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Are you gonna start naming friends that are other than me and Aaron and just lay it all out, or how's that going?
No,
continue because he's already started doing that. He's just
let it be known. Let it be known
things that Parker has time for aside for his other friends. Go ahead.
On the day that I played Mordheim, Aaron and Kenny, and I think you were doing baseball, but Aaron and Kenny were both playing Blood Bowl, And on the next time I had free, I was hanging out with Aaron. But the reason why I know about Mordheim at all is because Brandon actually was excited to play Mordheim as well. I am not the only person who's going to try some Mordheim. Brandon's also going to try some Mordheim. Brandon, what are you trying to do?
Says a lot of things. We already know about that.
All right, got paint on him.
Ooh.
Man. For the audience, he lifted a pile of what looked like sticks that were black. Awesome.
I am playing Norse Explorers Warband.
Nice.
It's basically just Chaos Warrior Marauders, but with a Norse theme. I am the only warband in the entire game that gets +2 to all die rolls involving rowing boats. So basically undefeatable. That's a legitimate rule they have for their warband. I've never even heard of a roll to row a boat. I don't even know that that's a mechanic in the game, but I get +2 to it, so I'm already winning.
And you might ask yourself, where are the rules for rowboat rolling? And the answer is probably in a random town crier somewhere that they introduce the concept of rowboats. One of the things I love about this game is how absolutely dog shit the rules are. They're just terrible. And so,
I don't know that the rules are terrible, but they are very rudimentary. It's kind of like Blood Bowl. Like you don't need complex rules when it just kind of works, right?
Yeah, kind of. But then they'll say things like, "You could buy a horse for this character." And you're like, cool, how does a horse work? And you're like, how do you want a horse to work? You're just like,
no, there's rules.
It's kind of.
There's a section where all the basic rules are, and there's basically a section for advanced rules that are like confusing as fuck, and that shit's is all hard to find. You're like, what is a black powder mithril grumgul weapon do? And you're like, that's probably like page like at least 90. Like
there's I was talking to Jim, I was like, so what are the base sizes in this game? He goes, like things like that, like things that modern games think of, like let's make sure all the base sizes are standardized, let's make sure that the shapes are all correct, like that kind of stuff. It's just this was before all that stuff was, I think, even considered. And so there's a lot of that kind of thing that I now take for granted whenever I start to play a game that just doesn't exist in this one. And so I have to just
all Games Workshop games were play with the bases the model came with.
Right.
And they were assuming you were using the official models, but all these model kits aren't even produced anymore. Mm-hmm. So everyone's using third-party counts as models, and half the models come with round bases, half of them come with square bases, and there's no uniformity at all.
Still have my 25 mil Terminators.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine if your 25 mil Terminators came on oval bases, and you're like, how does this work? And you're like, what do you mean? It's like, how does turning work? I have an oval base. You're like, just don't worry about it.
Right.
All I know is Mordheim sounds like the worst game I've ever heard of by you selling it to me. That sounds like a terrible game.
I was not trying to sell it to you. I was trying to tell you that I'm enjoying it. You do
with your new friend, Jimothy.
I don't know if Jim will ever listen to this, but Jim is a top-notch guy. I'll go to bat for Jim.
Oh, I like Jim. Oh, Parker, I like Jim.
Yeah.
Let me read to you. I think you'll appreciate this. This is something just gamers in general I think will appreciate.
Okay.
This was a FAQ for Mordheim. So an FAQ for Mordheim out of a time crier. A person wrote in to GW and asked this question. If a warrior declares a charged and an opposing model can intercept him, does the model that can intercept actually move? Or does the fact that my charge could be intercepted simply prevent me from charging? So this idea is there's an intervening model, and I want to intercept this guy who's charging my model. Do I actually move both? Like, do they meet each other?
It's saying,
like,
it's asking what the fuck does intercept actually do?
Yeah, and so this was their answer. This is why I love Mordheim. This was their answer, the official answer. In bare essence, it means that you cannot charge that model, capital that, i.e. check before moving the charger whether he can charge or not. However, many players move the intercepting model and let the charge be targeted against that model. So, if you just heard that and it made no fucking sense to you,
I don't understand what you're trying to say. What's the problem?
So, first off, the clarification of the rule is ambiguous, but also emphatic. Also,
I think that's extremely clear.
And then the second statement is, you know what? Some people just do whatever the hell they want. So
That's honestly the most Will Schick response I've ever heard.
Exactly.
So I don't know why you're saying this is dated.
So I ask a question followed by, well, some people think. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I asked you specifically, and you made a publication to tell me what the right answer is. And so your publication tells me nothing, and then you can do what you want. Oh, it's so good.
I actually disagree. I think it actually does a really good job of explaining where their intent is when they design these rules.
Sure.
Like, we want you to do what makes sense in the moment and try and have fun. Like, that's clearly what they're trying to impart there. And that is very much Mordheim in general.
Yeah. So I am really enjoying playing this game because it does, in that way, specifically that way, it's very refreshing, as opposed to the very crunchy games where everything is outlined very, very well. We really have to look into the dark corners of every, tabletop experience to find the things that are broken. This one is very much, everything is kind of squiffy, timey-wimey, and you just have to kind of play what makes sense. And I'm appreciating it.
Dovetailing. Back to Steve. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to segue, so dovetailing into a different topic. Movies. My family has exactly one tradition. We'll call it two traditions. I am I'm definitely a curmudgeon. I'm also cheap as shit. So movie theaters are an extravagant expense that I will almost never pay for. Surely not for myself, and definitely not for four of us, right? Like, I just don't see the value. And I realize that I'm wrong, but that's okay. Anyway.
Especially if you're not going like during like a special pricing time, it ends up being like $100 for four people to go.
Well, we also never get any drinks or snacks or sodas or no. We're just even just the ticket price is still too expensive for me. Anyway, there are two exceptions to that rule. And it's just based on tradition that we've always done as a family, mainly because my wife and son have like led the charge here. But we will always, if there is ever a Star Wars movie that comes out, we will go see it in the theater, or a Jurassic Park.
I knew you were going to say Jurassic Park. My ex-wife is getting ready to do exactly that.
We have tickets for 45 minutes from now.
Oh my God.
It was one of those times where just like, yes, dear. Like, just get the tickets, I'll go. So.
Gross.
Yeah.
They're getting so bad, too. Ugh.
I remember when tickets were like $7. You're like, man, they're really going up. Like.
Now I have to ask, why Jurassic Park? Like, how did that start? I could see how the very first one
family experience. Yeah.
So the one thing I will say, we used to go to a couple, movies throughout our lives, but it really took something that I think was worthy of the big screen, right? And Jurassic Park, especially the earlier ones, were absolutely worthy of seeing in the surround sound and the largesse of the screen in front of you with the dinosaurs and whatnot. Like, I don't need to go see pick your random movie. Like, it really needs to be something big and grandiose to get me to want to go to a movie theater see it. So I think that's why Jurassic Park. And then, my son was, he grew up being able to watch all the Jurassic Parks, the ones that had already been made, and then the ones that came out. And so, he was big into dinosaurs as a young boy. And so it just became one of the things that he got excited for it. My wife got excited for it. And we just did them all. I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. I think my favorite movie experiences now are actually tiny theaters. Like there's a couple different places that do it as a chain, but sometimes it's just like an art house or like a regular venue just pulls down a projector and shows a movie. I think those might be my favorite ways to see movies at theaters now. Just little tiny screens with like maybe 8 people. I really, really enjoy those. Some of my favorite movie experiences I've ever had are in tiny movie theaters. I've had a few like big cinema experiences that I really like, but all of those were I was by myself. And that's probably what it is. I think that I'm sensing the common theme here as I'm saying it, which is I don't like seeing movies with 80 people. That I don't like it at all. I really enjoy seeing a movie with like 4 people.
Would you see movies with Jim?
Oh yeah, I would see a movie with Jim. I'd see lots of movies with Jim. I could see movies with Jim before I saw movies with, other friends.
I no words, sir. This is
I
was not expecting this today, guys. I was not expecting this. It's hard to lose a friend. I
think Jim is an upright guy. I think Mordheim is not the only reason to hang out with Jim, is what I'm saying. I think Jim's great. I would say Aaron, are you going to a big movie theater, or are you going to a small one? I guess is my question.
Medium size. Our theater actually just got bought out and renovated, and now it's like B&B theaters or something. Is now going to a theater in town.
B&B theaters are good.
Okay, well, I'll be going to my first B&B ever.
They bought out the AMC. You don't probably have a huge array of options.
No, there is one theater in town. I could drive 35 minutes to get to the other cities, or 45 minutes to get to Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and have plenty of options. But no, we just do the one in town.
I miss the Alamo more than almost anything in my life.
Dude, I was
Draft
so sad
House?
when I found out it wasn't reopening. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly the kind of movie theater I'm talking about. Like small ones.
The Alamo made theaters cool again. Like in an era where all of a sudden tickets prices were like $15, $17, whatever. I was okay paying that at the Alamo because you got an actual experience. Now,
go
ahead.
Of space. You knew you weren't going to get interrupted by fuckheads. Like after that, we had to go to a movie theater, and the guy in front of us had his phone on max fucking brightness. It was just scrolling Facebook while the movie was playing. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And you had to lean forward and tell him to turn his fucking phone off.
Yeah, that was sad days. Sad days when they shut that down. Because now, like Aaron was saying, if I go see a movie, I have two boys, myself, and my girlfriend, and that costs way too goddamn much.
Yeah.
Shows. So The Bear has been out for a while. There's a new season. If that's not the best fucking show on, my God. Have you guys watched that?
Mm-mm.
I have not, but it's kind of on my short list of things to get to.
The episodes are generally not very long. They're 30 to 45 minutes. And the dialogue and the acting is so good that every character carries you from scene to scene. And the episodes are over in 2 seconds. You just want more and more and more. It's so fucking good.
Somebody told me that the phrase "herd" is a reference to the show. And
oh, yeah.
Just saying "herd" instead of "I got it" or "I
Yeah. No, the yes chef. Everybody being called a chef, and then the herd, yes.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It's a kitchen show. That makes sense. But the fact that random people just now say herd is I find that very annoying. So that's probably what has made me not watch the show so far.
That's weird. I didn't notice that.
I want to get over being annoyed. I was on the phone with one of my sales reps. I was like, hey, can you just let me know when this comes back in stock? I'll order it immediately. And she goes, herd. And I'm like, what? It's how is this real life? What's happening? Anyway.
That's strange.
I find that annoying, but.
I've worked in the kitchen for fucking 30 years, and that's not really a big deal.
Yeah, I've never heard that. I've been around kitchens too. I've never heard that.
That's something that obviously people have grabbed and thought it was cute and clever, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think the yes chef is so much better. If everyone is chef, that's really cool. I like that idea. But the show is so fucking good. I'm telling you, man, grab it, do it.
Okay.
How many seasons are out? Because we watched the first one.
4.
I know 4 of The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we watched the first
season.
2 then. Then we must have watched the first 2, and then I knew 3 came in, or a season came and went, and if the new one's out now, then that's probably where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of things I should have watched a long time ago, and people are actually angry at me, really actually angry that I say, hey, I've decided I'm going to actually try and watch The Sopranos, and it fucking flatlines them. They're so mad at me, mad at me. What I have to say is, I'm getting to watch it for the first time right now, and it is wonderful. Fuck you. It is so good.
Mm-hmm. No, I liked it too. I watched it last year, I think.
Yeah, when the She-Hulk came out.
Yeah, I know. I was so mad. It was literally, I was on that week's episode. I was like, should I watch another episode of Sopranos or should I watch She-Hulk? I was like, I watched a lot of Sopranos this week. Let's go to She-Hulk. And the episode of She-Hulk spoiled the next episode of The Sopranos for me. I'm like,
that was so good.
What the fuck are the odds of this? It's got to be 1 in a billion.
Yeah, what's the opposite of serendipity? Yeah. It's the other way.
And then the next week, a radio show spoiled an upcoming episode of it for me too. And I was like, God damn it. He's like, well, I'm not going to say spoiler alert because it was it's been so long. I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Say spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm on season 2, halfway through. I think I made it to season 2 many, many times, but this time I'm actually focusing and watching it. Yeah, dude, yeah. I'm gonna just blast through it full. It's so good.
I think it doesn't hold up as well as people might think, but it's still very good. It's just got some older TV tropes in it that are kind of annoying because it's like it's just kind of dated in the way that they do.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's still very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to pay full attention because I'm in my car and I'm watching. I've decided to do that instead of podcasts, but I'm really enjoying.
Wait, you're watching The Sopranos while driving?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got it right. Really,
oh my God.
Don't. Yeah, no, it's working great.
God.
Look, once I found out that Aaron reads books while he drives, I was like, I certainly could watch a show while I drive.
I know I'm probably a bad influence for this because we watched all of season 1 and 2 Rick and Morty on the drive to and back from Adepticon one year. But I was driving and you were watching it, and so.
But
totally
I figured
different.
in my head, I was like, I could probably be driving.
I
mean, The Sopranos is mostly dialogue, so it's fine.
It is a lot of dialogue.
I mean,
I have a okay. I can't say that because that might be a spoiler. I want your take on a single event of the show, but I don't want to spoil it. So I'll wait till I know you're past it.
I just finished 1923.
Nice.
I could not have been more upset with the last episode.
Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna like it. That's why I asked.
God!
I asked if you were watching. Like, Aaron's gonna hate this.
The last 10 minutes, how they finish it, I'm like, really? That couldn't have happened like fucking 8 years ago or whatever. Like, oh my God.
That's the Yellowstone.
Yeah,
prequel,
it's the Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's the middle.
The middle one.
Yeah.
So I really liked 1883. Like that is totally worth a watch.
Very good.
No other of Yellowstone in 1923 should ever be clicked play on your machine or device. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
And because of that, I will never watch another Taylor Sheridan show in my life. I just a straight no. He lost everything from me. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox rant.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what I thought we'd do for Mojo World this week is, since it's Steam sale week, we could just go and basically draft our want to buy on Steam sale games.
They need to be games we do not own?
It has to be games you do not own.
Okay.
That you're interested in buying on the current Steam sale.
Could I talk you in to releasing this Mojo World before the current Steam sale ends for everyone who listens?
I'll probably put this up tomorrow.
Okay.
When does it
goes
end?
through the 10th. We have
the 10th.
Over a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gloomhaven's 12.51. God damn it.
You can't pick it, you already own it.
I'm so mad. Somebody owes me money right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, I don't think we're actually going to have a huge amount of overlap on this, so I was just going to kind of go basically alphabetical.
Whatever.
Since we have multiple people that haven't been on in a while.
Gloomhaven.
Can't pick Gloomhaven. Aaron's first. You're so bad at this.
Gloomhaven.
I'm first.
I figure you also have a bigger grasp on your Steam library than most people.
Well, since I posted 5 games in my cart right now earlier today.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them. But I got to come up with reasons for why I picked them, so it's good content. I'm going to start off with One Deck Galaxy. It is the sequel to a game called One Deck Dungeon. I'll give you the 20-second elevator pitch. You are a fantasy class, magic, rogue, fighter, whatnot. And those allow you to roll a certain number of red, yellow, and pink dice. So you roll them, and then in order to get past obstacles, you have to have a certain number of yellow dice that are 4s or more. But if you're a fighter, you roll a bunch of yellow dice, and if you're a rogue, you only roll a couple. Then you have ability cards that you like transmute two pink into 1 yellow, etc., etc. So it's basically you roll dice, and you have to use probability and odds and your abilities to make those dice meet where they need to go. And then for the obstacles you can't overcome, you take damage. And if you take enough damage, then you die. And this is the sequel to that. And I really enjoyed One Deck Dungeon. And so I thought I would give One Deck Galaxy a try.
What is the % off on that?
Everything is at least 50% off. This one is 62% off. It will cost you $4.93.
No, I just need the percentage.
Oh, 62% off.
I was just going to include that. I figured that'd be a nice thing for people that are like, hey, it's that much off right now. That's good.
Yep. I mean, they should buy One Deck Dungeon first, but...
Yeah. Okay. I guess that puts me up next. I'll pick something that I think is a good buy. I'm going to buy Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Going back one.
Figured. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the Civ games, but they seem fun. But the main reason, currently it's 95% off, so you can get it for $3.
Wow,
that's why you stay a gen
worth it.
behind.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, hold on, because I looked it up and Civ 7 is like $30-something. So I'm like, oh yeah, we broke the code here, guys. We got it. All right, Jeremy. Other than Gloomhaven, what game do you wish you could buy?
I wish I could buy it. So scrolling through here again, I'm not a PC gamer these days. I'm getting angrier and angrier as I have bought many of these games for my children at full price. Yeah, it's fucking great. It's great. I see money. I'm just flushing
Patience.
Patience. Okay, I'm gonna go Darkest Dungeon, 85% off for $3.74.
The original.
Jesus Christ! That if you haven't played Darkest Dungeon,
yep,
it's so good.
I've almost bought it several times. I'm just not a big fan of like side by side combat games. I don't know why it's just not something I really enjoy.
I'm gonna give Jeremy and maybe some listeners some advice. Jeremy, I want you to go to steamdb.com. Have you been there before?
No.
Okay. Or steamdb.info. You can probably just Google SteamDB. And let's pull up a game. Let's call it Gloomhaven. And then you can click on the actual game. It'll tell you the price history over the past 2 years.
Steam
and
what?
I can say
what?
steamdb.info. Or just Google SteamDB Gloomhaven. Bottom line, DB stands for database. And so it's the database of everything in Steam. So if you can find a game a la Gloomhaven, I can look at the price history in Gloomhaven and see that it is regularly priced at $34.99. However, like 2 years ago, it went on sale for $20.99. And then ever since July of 2024, when it goes on sale, it's $13.99. Right now is the cheapest it has ever been at $12.24. But what this will tell me is if I'm willing to wait for one of those sales, which we know they're going to happen, right? 4 seasons of the year, there's always a sale. So Gloomhaven will be on sale for $13.99, is what I would have said before this sale right now. So if you're ever looking at a game and you're like, man, is it going to go on sale? Like I could have told you Gloomhaven would. There may be others, like Ark Nova is a board game port that just came out, has not gone on sale yet. It's too new. So for anyone out there, go to steamdb.info and you can look at the price history for any game that's on Steam.
All right. So how does that help me with Darkest Dungeon?
It helps you not pay full price for games you're buying your kids in the future.
Also, if you just put any game you're interested in your wish list, it will email you anytime a game goes on sale for 20% off or more.
Yeah, these are also PlayStation 5 games, and this is a PC kind of thing, so just saying. Darkest Dungeon, 85% off, 3.74. That one's a good one.
Again, you only have to tell me the percentage, but I got you. All right, Parker, you get back-to-back picks here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
The first one I'm going to do is 65% off Cyberpunk 2077. No, I'm going to say 53% off the Ultimate Edition. You want the Ultimate Edition, but Cyberpunk 2077 was a game that was promised to be amazing, and it came out as a train wreck, and it just got review bombed hard. But
really, I didn't know that. I don't go to the internet looking for this stuff, but I knew several people playing it, and they didn't say a bad word about it. So
it got review bombed. So if anybody looked at the internet for what it was because it was pretty buggy when it came out. A lot of people disliked it. My brother loved it. I actually waited for years before I touched it at all. But Phantom Liberty was an amazing expansion, and the game itself is now clean and beautiful. If you have any interest in the setting, it's a fantastic game now, and it's 53% off right now for the Ultimate Edition. And I recommend the Ultimate Edition. It's the whole game you want to play. The next one, this is hard.
I have 2 minutes.
I'm going to say XCOM 2. I know that's weird, but it's an ancient game, and it's 90% off right now. But it's the last XCOM they made, I think, right? So that's the one I want to say.
Probably. All right, Jeremy, you're up.
I'm going to go with one of the best games ever made, which is Portal #1 for $1.99. 80% off.
What about Portal 2?
Good, but it's probably not $1.99.
It's probably not, but I think Portal 2 was vastly superior to Portal 1, but obviously Portal 1 set the standard.
Yeah.
So. All right. My next pick, we already spoiled it. Shadow of Mordor. 80% off right now. All right, Aaron, you got your final 2 picks, sir.
Okay. Library of Ruyna, Ruyna, from a publisher I've never bought a game from before. It is combat between guests and librarians breaks out as if it were on stage. Overwhelmingly positive reviews and relevant to me, a la Slay the Spire and Across the Obelisk, which are roguelikes. So that's a game I will probably be getting.
Percentage?
It is 55% off. And then my third and final pick is going to be King Arthur Knight's Tale. 70% off. It is a unique hybrid turn-based tactical game, or a hybrid between turn-based tactical and character-centric RPGs. Similar to Gloomhaven and Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Both games I like a lot.
Ooh.
So
that could be interesting.
For 70% off, we'll pick it up.
All right. Next up for me, because I'm going to not pick 2 Lord of the Rings games, I'm going to go with Deep Rock Galactic.
I played that game. It's fun.
It looks really fun. It's a game that you clearly want to play with friends. So
yeah,
I just don't have any friends.
I heard
Jeremy,
Jim
is
is looking.
your final pick.
Jim's a great friend.
Jim is looking.
Yeah,
Jim is looking.
You
for
can
more
always.
friends.
Parker will loan him out.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim's a great friend.
I've never played The Witcher 3, which is the predominant owner of all things cool. $7.99 for 80% off.
Nice. All right, Parker. Final pick.
Gloomhaven, Alex.
You son of a bitch!
65
son of a bitch!
Off?
Boy,
It's a $40 game. Don't
How much
you
off?
fucking dare!
65%.
Don't you fucking dare, sir! I'll call Jim right fucking now.
You know what, Parker? I can tell by the cut of your jib you have good taste in games.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I hear good
my
things.
God. I am so upset.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad we got the van back together. Finally, we have PB&J all together. Right here. Boom. PB&J. It's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot.
Hey, Jeremy. Why is Cyclops the leader of the X-Men?
I don't know.
Did Professor X make him a supervisor?
I hate you. I hate everyone.
A supervisor.
We've been waiting for it. It's back.
Oh,
right.
shit. Oh.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Oh,
this
man.
has been Brandon.
Oh, and Parker.
Fuck you. Fuck you motherfuckers. Jeremy's out.
And Aaron.
Goodbye.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.